See, you did it anyway. Took 20 seconds to show live.
I don't know why it took so long.
Good job, Cooper.
Welcome back to the Batflip Entertainment College Football Show. I'm your host, Hank, joined by Cooper and Adam again for a fifth or sixth week. I've now lost count, but we're consistent, finally.
Why don't we get a fancy intro like the Batflip podcast?
What's their intro?
I don't know.
They get like
they got baseball dudes and they're flipping bats or something and hitting home runs. I don't know. And there's some.
They couldn't even use the logo we liked.
Well, they got a long ass highlight reel of all the Batflips.
That's true. It's like a minute long. We just get to get Cooper. That's our intro.
We could just put the Tavon Austin highlight tape as the front.
I could do that if you wanted. I could actually make a legitimate intro.
Yeah, just put the Tavon Austin highlight tape in the front of it.
Yeah, but we might get copyrighted because we'll be just somebody else will.
That sounds like that sounds like Damien's problem.
Yeah,
fair.
And he'll get mad at me for screwing up his channel.
We have shorts now.
Yes,
thanks to Cooper.
We're killing it in the views right now. Hank's face has got 800 views on our top 12.
Yeah, why did my face get that many?
I don't know. YouTube just picked you, dude. I didn't even choose that. YouTube was just like, this is the thumbnail we're using, and it picked your face.
What was the clip?
The clips that we have, the ones that's doing the best is the top 12 teams.
Okay.
From last week. That's the one that's doing the best. Somebody also commented saying that Alabama should be 9th. I saw that comment. I don't agree with that.
A comment.
We got multiple comments. Somebody else, I can look.
I agree with that comment in spirit.
I do not agree, but whatever.
My heart agrees with it.
Yeah, but your eyes
is ridiculous.
Yeah, your eyes tell you differently.
Yeah, guys in the comments just disagree with me. Somebody commented IU number 1, and Bama should be 9. I can't wait for us to get into the top 12 later in the show because Art's gonna. I think Art's gonna imitate life, and I didn't even try to really fully just lean into the AP poll thing. I didn't try it, but
that's hilarious.
It just happened.
Oh, no.
I can't wait till we get there. We will get there at some point, but let's start with the hottest news of the week. Brian Kelly. See ya. LSU scissor lifted him right out of there. Boom. Got it.
Man, I could go on about this forever.
I'll let you go first because you have had the Brian Kelly experience.
I have had the Brian Kelly experience, and the Brian Kelly experience carried right over onto LSU. A lot of Notre Dame fans are feeling awfully vindicated this week after the news broke. I've seen a lot of podcasts this week, a lot of Notre Dame guys going on LSU podcasts and getting their flowers. It's been great, but man, oh man, I kind of felt. I think everyone knew that was not a good match. Anyone who thought it was is kind of lying to themselves, I think.
But not the
family. But I don't think anyone expected it to be this bad.
Now, was it that bad, though?
I mean, fired in year 4.
Fired in year 4. Look at the record.
The end result is bad, though. Yeah.
10 wins, 9 last year.
Yep. I think in general, maybe it was just more. I just expected them to do what Notre Dame did and was just like, yeah, this is good for the next 12 years.
That's fair.
I don't know.
That's fair.
In theory, it's just I don't know. It's one of those things. He's not a bad coach, but he is what he is. And man, if there's some program out there that wants 9 or 10 wins every year, and he can put his ego aside to go there because he's not above it, hell yeah.
Oh, he'll go somewhere. I think there's a decent spot for him. I have an idea. We can talk about that after. But Cooper, what's your thoughts on the situation?
Number one, I can't take this seriously with just the scissor lifts and bunch. Like I can't.
Hey, at least Adam's off of it, not on top of it. We know what happens when you get up on those.
Hang on, there you
go. That one's even better. Yeah. Surprised that it ended this quickly. Not surprised after last week's game against A&M getting just decimated in the second half, and it seemed like the players gave up. Adam, we were in there watching together. Like it seemed like they just gave up completely.
That second half was pitiful. It was like once A&M took the lead, it was over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was getting pretty bad there, and I think that honestly, the buyout thing, like the amount of money now, I think I saw something where it's like it's not even November yet, and there's already like $169 million in buyout being spent just on coaches to not coach. And I don't think it stops here. Like I think there's a chance that Florida State might be having an opening. Auburn might be having an opening. Like there's still more teams that will have guys by the end of the season get fired. And part of it is also like how early he's being fired, I think also plays a part into the transfer portal being moved to where it's at. Programs want to get their coaching staff and get that aligned quicker, earlier, so that when that transfer portal rolls around, they got their ducks in order. It's the best job now, in my opinion, that's open. I think LSU is now the best job available. There's a lot of guys that are pretty interesting that I think LSU will call. Kelly will find a job. I think he's a good coach, like you said, Adam. I think somebody will hire him because there's still plenty of other teams that are willing to take 10 wins a season and be very happy with it. Before we started recording, we talked about Minnesota. Being happy with a 7-5 record. If we were to have 10 wins a season, we'd be ecstatic. So there's definitely plenty of other programs out there that would take him. I don't know who at this point would take him. That's the one thing I don't see a team right now that I would, like Hank pointed out, the James Franklin to Virginia Tech thing, like as an obvious one. I don't see an obvious team that would take him. Do you guys have one in mind?
UCLA.
Yeah.
I see. This is a double-ended sword though, because it's like, A, who's gonna take him, and two, the guy's 64. Why is he, going to a rebuild is a bit of a rebuild in today's college football is kind of a relative term. You can turn around pretty quick, but there's that. And also too, I don't know if the man can put his ego aside to go to a job that he feels is below him.
Yeah.
Like, quite honestly, he started somewhere. He's 64 now. Hell, he was in LSU. He might as well have already been retired after all the reports that are coming out that the man spent more time on the beach and golfing than coaching. So I don't know, man. Like there was one that kind of stuck out to me a little bit where he came up coaching at Grand Valley State in Michigan. That Michigan State job came open. Maybe he goes back to his stomping ground, but even that, I don't think he would go to Michigan State.
Do you take Michigan State over UCLA?
Not if you want to go to the beach.
UCLA is going to be open.
Not if you want to go to the beach or go golf a bunch.
It's not like he has to coach his team in front of fans out there.
True.
Do whatever he wants. I think UCLA looks like a decent fit for him, and I think Florida State might get a look if they do part with Norvell.
Mm-hmm.
God, wouldn't that be the most Florida State thing ever?
Got to get a pop, and I mean that gets you back on track. Brian, if there's one thing Brian Kelly will do, it's deliver you 9 to 10 wins.
He's a stabilizer. It's what he is. He can stabilize a program. He's not going to take it much farther than that. But you know what? There's a lot of teams out there that would love that right now. So
right.
Now,
I do.
Takes...
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, who takes the LSU job now?
That is anyone's guess. I mean, you're looking at can they buy Lane Kiffin? I don't know. Can they buy any other coach? I don't know. I think what they will do or should do is take a shot at what's his name? Is it Buffalo's OC? Kelly. One Kelly to the
Joe
other.
Kelly?
Is that his name? Yeah.
Joe Kelly?
Is he still in Buffalo?
Think so? I don't think
Yeah,
they've
the
changed
old
OCs.
quarterbacks coach from when Burrow said it. But I also did just see that Coach O said he'd like to come back as a head coach.
Maybe. I have 3 guys in mind. I think there's a chance. Now, I think this is the order they would go in. I think Lane Kiffin is ultimately going to be the one they're going to go with.
Joe Brady. Thank you, Dame.
Yeah,
that was really dumb by us. Joe Kelly is pitching tonight.
We knew it was a Joe. One of those Joes out there in the sports world.
We should have just said Joe.
I kept going. You got it eventually.
Yeah. I think Lane Kiffin's ultimately going to be the one they're going to take. Now, I think they'll call Urban Meyer before. I think they'd call him to see if he's even interested in coaching, and would want to leave Fox to go back coaching again.
Urban's
I think
going
that
to Florida.
Yeah, actually, yeah, that might be the spot.
That'd be great.
I think they would call Dan Lanning. I think he would say no. I mean, he turned down the Alabama job, so I don't think he would take LSU. I think he likes Brissett in Oregon. But I think ultimately Lane Kiffin is the choice. I think Lane has gone as far as he can at Ole Miss, and there's so much money at LSU, and I think that that's the next step to take for him to, take a chance.
One question that I have with all of this: where are people getting their figures, or do they know who has money and who doesn't? Because you just hear people say this team has more money than that team, but I haven't seen any numbers to it.
It's almost like
that LSU has more than Ole Miss.
It's more so for me finding out, like, just hearing from different people that are in the know. You know what I mean? Like that they won't say specific figures, but they'll say, "Oh, LSU's got boosters with a ton of money and deep pockets." Not that, this is how, they actually are the program with the third most money in the country or something like that.
I'm just wondering who those people are that are getting those numbers for sure, because no one's ever seen an actual number from any school. We just, like you said, we hear, oh, LSU has more money than Ole Miss. Well, do we know? Is that because Ole Miss spent all their money in 2006 on their top 5 recruiting class?
LSU has Raising Cane's, man. They got more money.
Yeah, that's true. Raising Cane's is a ton of money to just get a basket.
Brian Kelly is going to make my damn combo go up. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious on all that, because I would have expected, I mean, Ole Miss was one of the first ones, they're not one of the first ones, but like one of the big ones I remember getting sanctions for paying players before it was legal.
Mm-hmm.
Someone's got money there. Someone's willing to spend it. But I guess that's, at the end of the day, that's just up to, is Lane willing to part? And what if he isn't? Then where do you go? Because I think Joe Brady's the one that you go after.
It is crazy the amount of high-profile jobs that are open, where if you really look around at like the coaching market, like there's not a ton of big names that you would think to fill those openings. So you're going to kind of see some of those offshoot names fill in the Penn State, fill in, unless, Urban Meyer comes back and takes a Florida job. You know what I mean? Like,
so last year we saw 2 coaches that I can think of off the top of my head, Rich Rod and Scott Frost, go back to where they had coached previously. Scott Frost much closer in his 2 tenures at UCF than Rich Rod was. Rich Rod was 17 years. I think Scott Frost was only 5 or 6 years in between. There's potential you could see. I don't know how serious LSU would even consider Coach O, and I doubt it's very serious at all. the report was just him saying he wanted to coach.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there's a decent potential you could see 2 more returns with Urban going to Florida and Jimbo Fisher's still out there for Florida State. I don't think Jimbo didn't leave for lack of success. I think that was more of a money move for him. You could see 2 more return right there.
I wouldn't be surprised by that at all. I mean, I know for sure these programs have, if they're willing to pay the crazy amount of money that they're willing to spend just to make these guys not coach anymore, can't even imagine how much money they're willing to spend to get the guy they want.
Right. And there are another few. I mean, you got Ole Miss, or not Ole Miss, Missouri's head coach, Drinkwitz. He could move somewhere. Clark Lee, maybe. Does he leave Vandy? Brent Key, Georgia Tech. There's other names that aren't being thrown around. But that's more, I feel like because of these high profile jobs, like you said, Cooper, like you got Penn State, LSU, these things are open and people are expecting some big splash hire. But guess what?
Mm-hmm.
The good coaches are at good schools. Those big splash hire names are at good schools succeeding.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see any of them leaving. As much as LSU may want Lane Kiffin, I don't know if Lane leaves Ole Miss.
I would see that's what I'm saying. Like they would go down the list of guys, and after going down that list of other other guys to try to get, you almost have to get to a point where it's like, okay, I feel like I have to make a splash hire here. If you're the athletic director, like we got to get somebody. We can't just go get Buffalo's OC and hope that it works. Hope that he can recruit well. Hope that he can, be a good college head coach. Hope that he can get the right guys in the right spots on his staff. I would feel like LSU would say, money's no option here. We're going to spend as much money as we can to try to get Lane to come.
Good. Do you see, Adam, do you see any of the other names like the Key, the Lee? Look at that rhyme. I'm good at this. Drink, or even South Florida's coach, what's his name? Galesh.
You guys bring up Joe Summerall at all?
No.
So that's the one. Tulane's head coach, I think, makes a lot of sense, especially when you have what's going on down there. Louisiana's governor is apparently the one who's picking the. I don't know, but maybe that makes sense. I will say I'm always surprised that when I don't see Matt Campbell and Clark Lee's names in jobs like this. Maybe Matt Campbell might be more of a Big Ten guy, the way he builds his team, whatever.
I think Matt Campbell missed his time.
He's still a great coach, man. He gets the best out of that team every year, and it's not like Iowa State's bringing in 4 or 5-star guys.
Yeah.
I would love to see Matt Campbell one of these years finally get a chance at a big school. Like, man, if Penn State went and got him, I would say they hit it out of the park, but they're not going to do that. Clark Lee, too. Clark Lee, speaking of guys who are getting the best out of their players, good grief. Mm-hmm. Guy can coach his ass off. He should be considered for any job that comes up. And Summerall's good, too. I wouldn't be surprised if it is him.
Do you consider those big hires? Like, is that if LSU goes and pries away a Lee or a Drinkwitz or even a Galesh from South Florida, I'd expect him to be getting a higher profile job upcoming, but that the Galesh
might be
one
too big of a jump for him, but
yeah, that might look more like a Wisconsin if Wisconsin were to get rid of Fickle.
Sure. So what are you asking me?
I'm saying, would pulling one of those guys away out of the SEC, are those big enough names where that would be considered a good move by the LSU fan base or by the Penn State fan base or one of those teams?
Probably the fan base would probably be underwhelmed, but man, I think this whole narrative of going after they always going after former coaches, going after the biggest name doesn't always work.
Mm-mm.
Behind the scenes, a lot of these guys know who the best coaches are, regardless of what the fans see. You see it. Signetti is a perfect example of a hire that no one was. When I used doing this coaching search, and no one's like, "Oh, Signetti, that's a great coach. That's a great hire." No one's thinking about that. Sometimes you just got to go get the best guy that you know is best for your program. Just do that. Don't worry about what the biggest hire in the world's gonna be. Just go get the guy that's gonna fit your program. Don't go get Brian Kelly.
Now,
like LSU did.
It's Coach O. Go get him.
Sure, do it.
Stats department just said Nick Saban. I thought about Nick Saban, and I don't think he would take it. I think he would say no, but you'd be crazy to at least not call him and ask him. Is there what is the chances that you would come back to coaching and coach for us?
West Virginia called him last year. He just said, "I'll help you find a coach."
Yeah,
I'm sure every school will call him. Yeah, but if you add Nick Saban to that list, you could see 3 coaches returning to places they've already coached, and I think that'd be awesome.
Life is just one big circle. Cool. It all comes back around.
I think it'd be awesome. All right. Got through Kelly. Let's here's my segue into this. Brian Kelly started in the MAC with Central Michigan.
Central Michigan.
MACtion starts next week, boys. Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Let's do a little review of the MAC. Right now, you got Miami, Ohio on top. Ohio is second. I think Toledo's the best team. Either of you guys have a feeling on who you think's the best team in the MAC?
I thought for the last 4 weeks it was Western Michigan. They had that 4-game winning streak. They were looking really good, and then they lost this last week to not to Ball State, but to Miami of Ohio.
Oh,
nope, it was the Miami of Ohio.
Okay, they had a good run. The top team.
Yeah, and they did beat Toledo, 14-13.
Weird game.
So, yeah, but still, I was liking how they were looking these last couple weeks because I was going back and just looking through all the box scores and such and just looking at them. And just went to go look. I'm like, oh, wow, they're on a 4-game winning streak. Brock Lowry has been playing well in those games too as well, so shout out to him. So
Western Michigan has a team. Yeah, Western Michigan has a way to always have a quarterback. Just for some reason, they just always have a quarterback. I'm with you. I was kind of on that train too. I'm hoping to attend some Tuesday night MACtion here in a couple of weeks, but
we need our correspondent on site. So,
yeah, I'm with you. I thought it was Western Michigan. This might just be Miami, Ohio's conference now. They just keep on freaking winning.
Tell you what, I don't think Miami is even the second best team in that conference. I do think Toledo is the best team, even with the 2 losses. They got the weird 14-13 loss to Western Michigan. Western Michigan's decent. One that's really inexplicable would be the Toledo or the Bowling Green loss. I don't quite know what happened there, off day, whatever it may be. But if you look at who Miami of Ohio has played, they've played. They got smacked by Rutgers. They've played Akron, Eastern Michigan, and Western Michigan and Northern Illinois outside of the Western Michigan game. I believe those 3 are the bottom 3 teams in the MAC. And I'm not even counting UMass as a Division I school right now. Just consider them not even part of the MAC. Miami's
that right.
3 of Miami's 4 wins are against the bottom quarter of the league. Toledo, on the other hand, has to play the bottom quarter of the league, and they still got Miami of Ohio on there. They've got the best offense and defensive combination there. Only given up 55 points in league play. Scored the most points in league play thus far at 126.
So in Ohio, they still rocking Gleason over there too.
Yes. And Ohio might have the best player in the conference with Navarro at quarterback, but 3-1 in the conference. I think they've got the best offense, I would say. They're most balanced, like 250 passing per game, 210 rushing. It's most balanced offense in that conference.
I will say their results are utterly hilarious because they have either lost by, well, some of these losses are close, but all their wins are just straight belt to ass, dude. Like 45-21, 60-0, 45-3, 45-10. Goodness.
Yeah.
I don't hate
And they
it.
got beat by Washington State, the best non-Power 4, Power 4 team there is.
Should have beat Ole Miss.
I'll ask the same question I asked last week. Can UMass get a win this season?
No. If they couldn't beat Buffalo that way, they can.
I was going to say, I think their best chance is this week against Akron.
Do they have any other high school teams left on the schedule?
Their schedule is Akron this week, Northern Illinois, Ohio, and Bowling Green to finish out the season.
No.
But I think Akron is, their best chance.
I don't know. Northern Illinois at home. They might be able to squeak that out.
Man, this is a night game too in Akron.
Yeah, it's Tuesday.
The InfoCision Stadium's going to be lit that night. They're not winning.
The Zips, the Kangaroos.
No, Zips by a touchdown.
Few things to touch on, though, also in that conference. Ohio's wide receiver, Chase Hendricks, third in the country in receiving. Toledo's safety, Braden Owls, second in interceptions. Ball State's defensive end, Nathan Boris, second in the nation in sacks by a half a sack. So they got some leaders amongst their stats.
It's a dog right there.
Throughout that. And that we're just getting started. And this next month, rain, snow on random Tuesdays that you don't even realize in Kalamazoo or wherever they're at.
It's about to snow, boys.
Pick your team and settle in.
MAC championship game. If you had to predict the MAC championship game, who are the two teams you think are going to be playing each other?
So the way the schedule lines up right now, it'll be tough for Toledo to get in it. They got to play Miami of Ohio, so that can knock Miami of Ohio down to one loss. Obviously, Miami of Ohio would have to lose 2. They play at Ohio on Tuesday, and I think that's where you would see the second loss for Miami of Ohio. That would put Toledo in the driver's seat there.
Mm-hmm.
I would say Toledo and Ohio if all falls correctly. And the path is set up there to do that. Because Ohio's got to beat Western Michigan too. That would knock them to 2 conference losses.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as Toledo takes care of business, I think the rest probably shakes itself out because I think Ohio is better than Miami of Ohio. And I mean, Western Michigan,
yeah,
weird. Really good defense. Offense leaves a lot to be desired there.
Yeah.
Central Michigan and Ohio the next 2 weeks. They get through that, they'll be there.
Yeah. They got that outside chance that if they run the table on those 2 games, then yeah, they could. It's like that. Like you said, you look at those are the top teams right now. It kind of feels like they're the ones that are on the outside.
Yeah. Toledo's given up 55 points in league play. 28 of them came in this single Bowling Green game. So when you're looking at the other 3 games, what's that? 27 points they're giving up. They're averaging 9 points a game on defense.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what happened against Bowling Green. I think they got the most balanced team, and I think Ohio just takes care of business. Even Central Michigan, they got beat by Akron. Like the MAC's wild.
Yeah.
Oh, everybody just be
they
beating
played
up on
Eastern
everybody.
Michigan, Akron, and Bowling Green.
Let's see.
What's your prediction?
I'm not as, I guess I'm not as low as you are on Miami of Ohio. I think they're one of the teams that's going to get in, and I think, I mean, it's tough. It's like a toss-up, really. I mean, I'm going to go a little bit outside. I think maybe Western Michigan can maybe run the table here, and we could see Western Michigan maybe make it in.
Against
Miami of Ohio.
Miami of Ohio.
Yeah.
Where were you going with that, Adam?
This is fun because they all still play each other.
Yeah.
Miami of Ohio plays everybody else at the top of the MAC right now.
Yeah, their 4 wins are against the bottom of the MAC. That's why they are where they are. So I think Miami of Ohio is going to get taken care of. It's going to fall where it may. And as long as Toledo takes care of business.
This is going to be Toledo and Central Michigan. Book it.
Donate it. Again, Central Michigan lost to Akron, so who knows who's going to go lose to UMass on a Wednesday.
That's what's great about the MAC is we could have totally different things, and one of us could totally be right because it's so crazy in this conference.
It is another crazy
best football you can watch.
Could be, but here's another one with great football and an insane race to see the playoff. AAC, huge game last week with Memphis and USF. Memphis gets it done on that field goal late. Now you've got Memphis back in the driver's seat after the terrible loss to UAB. They got the conference win over USF. And I get this mixed up all the time. They did beat North Texas, correct?
Ask that again.
Who beat North Texas?
Texas.
USF beat North Texas.
USF beat North Texas.
Yes.
Okay.
They do not play North Texas. Memphis doesn't.
Yeah, Memphis has Tulane and Navy on there. I got it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So here we are. USF, Memphis, and North Texas all have one conference loss. Memphis holds that right now because they beat USF, and USF beat North Texas. So Memphis is in the driver's seat there for the conference title game. North Texas plays Navy this weekend. That's, to me, essentially an elimination game for the conference title, or at least the spot in the conference championship. Tulane goes and plays Memphis next week, which I think is your next eliminator. So that would then leave you either a Memphis or Tulane, Navy or North Texas, and USF. USF's the one that's actually, I think, benefiting from this the most. Because 2 weeks from now, USF plays Navy. All of these teams have to play each other. And essentially, whoever comes out of this with, you might be able to get away with 2 losses. It just depends who you lose to.
Now, this is a lot of fun. Realistically, if you look at the top of the American, you got Navy, Tulane, Memphis, South Florida, North Texas, Temple, and East Carolina, all in play still. With that being said, Temple's sneaky. That being said, this week, as you said, we got Navy and North Texas. We also have ECU and Temple. So one of them after this week, out of here. Next week, yet Tulane and Memphis. Loser of that, probably out of here. Week 12, USF versus Navy, Memphis versus ECU. Week 13, Tulane versus Temple. And week 14, you got Navy and Memphis and Temple and North Texas. All these teams play each other. And it is awesome.
And they're all good. I know that every conference obviously plays each other, but the top of this conference being as good as I do think that it is, and then them playing well out of conference against decent opponents. I know Arkansas may not be the best of opponents. Florida doesn't look great anymore for USF, but those are Power 4 opponents that they're beating with a solid background, at least. You're looking at least three of those 5 teams I think should be ranked in the 20s. You're looking at an Illinois team that's 5-3, whatever they are now. Why do you not have North Texas up there? Their only losses to, who did we say?
USF.
USF. There we go. I can't even keep it straight. All of these teams are really good, and the winner of this will get that playoff spot. In the end.
Unless.
Do you have it?
James Madison? Just saying. They run the table, 1 loss. That 1 loss would be Louisville, who's looking pretty.
A bad loss.
As much the American's a gauntlet, all right. The American's a gauntlet. The Sun Belt is not a gauntlet. Sorry,
not anymore.
No, the winner of the American should get it, but just putting that out there. If the American beats up on each other too much, then maybe the top team that comes out of there has 3 losses, and you got James Madison sitting there undefeated, and they've blown out everybody, and their only loss is Louisville.
Yeah, I think you got to come out of here with 2 losses or less, but I think a 2-loss Memphis team versus a 2-loss South Florida team looks much different. Just because of that UAB loss.
Mm-hmm.
That might be the kicker for them. But you have Navy, one of 3 on 4 unbeatens, still not ranked. Understand they've had the worst strength of schedule up to this point, but they got the 19th strength of schedule going forward. So we're about to see what Academy of Football is all about right now. And it starts this week.
You can give them 25 AP. Come on.
Just marks, right?
I think, yeah, obviously, yeah. The conference championship game I would have predicted right now, the more and more I look into it, the more and more. I'm not going to say it.
Okay.
I was going to say it. Mine is Tulane and Memphis right now. I think that is going to be Tulane and Memphis. But you're talking about North Texas. We have to talk about the fact. Bestemaker throwing 608. That deserves a mention, at least. You can't just gloss over North Texas and not mention the fact that dude threw 608. That is insane.
It's nuts.
Yeah.
He's a true freshman, too.
Mm-hmm. That's enough
Not
of a
just
notice
a freshman.
to make some other bigger schools look at him and go, oh, maybe we'll give him a little bit of money to come to a little bit higher profile school.
Vanderbilt.
Maybe.
Now
One of those schools.
That's going to kill Navy this week. If there's one thing that Navy's not good at right now, it's pass defense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He will carve them up.
Yep. He might throw 708 this week.
He can, but if Heisman Horvath has 709 total yards of offense, the Mean Green can take their shit back home.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
Actually,
Navy's just got just 8-minute drives all game. 8-minute drives all game. That's what they got to do.
Explosive now.
What's that?
I don't know. So that's a problem. Horvath's so explosive now. They don't know how to hold drives.
Mm-hmm.
Dude runs for 82 yards. Says see ya.
Bet the over.
Deuces.
Yeah.
Worth noting.
Go ahead.
Sorry. Worth noting. North Texas did play Army earlier this year. 7-point game.
It was very close.
Very close. Yes. Maybe it's an advantage that they've seen the option already, but just saying, Army was in play there.
Do you remember that game? Army also lost to whatever Division 4 school that was, Tarleton State.
Tarleton State.
Army's got the weirdest. Honestly, if you look at their year, it's the weirdest year of all. They lose to Tarleton State. They play North Texas within a touchdown. I think they lost to Kansas State by a field goal.
No, they beat Kansas State.
Oh, that's right. They did beat Kansas State.
Within 7 to Tulane last week.
It makes zero sense.
Air Force this week.
Oh, so they're just. Oh wait, Army Air Force. I thought you were saying North Texas.
Army Air Force. Yep.
All right. There you go. There's the Commander-in-Chief battle that doesn't matter.
Damn.
No one cares about.
Wow.
So yeah, I am excited for this AAC race. I think this weekend's going to be fun to watch. And going forward, and a former AAC member, I got 4 schools for you. Give me a contender or pretender. Houston, Vandy, Georgia Tech, Virginia. Go, Cooper.
Pretender?
Time out.
Okay.
Define contender.
Are we looking at them being semi-competitive for an 11-12 spot? Or
okay, so we're not talking about them winning a championship.
No.
Yeah.
I don't think any of these are true. Let's be honest. I mean, we've had it right for the last 50 years. The BCS polls weren't that bad. It was really bad back before that when they were just declaring whoever the hell was a national title. But even in the 14 playoff, the only time a 4 seed won was when it was Ohio State, who happened to lose the week before the playoff started, who was number 1 the entire year. The average margin of victory in the semifinal games was 18 points. It wasn't really that competitive. Yes, Ohio State was an 8 seed last year, but that's only because they lost to Michigan.
Yeah, it was 7 versus 8 last year. 12 seed's not going to win. That's fair.
All right, so contender, pretender, by that metrics then. I think pretender...
They're not going to show up like SMU in the playoff is what I'm saying, where it's just not even close, or Boise State, whoever.
I am not very high on Virginia. They're my pretender.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of close games. This last week was really the struggle against North Carolina, only winning by a point. That was because there's been no hope there with Bill Belichick. They have struggled to find offense, and it has been bad. So the fact of how close that game was really makes me second guess Virginia. They're my pretender. My true contender, I think Haynes King can carry Georgia Tech to a spot there. I'm becoming more and more of a believer every week in Georgia Tech. Not just Haynes King, but Georgia Tech as a team.
If he doesn't breathe, if he stops breathing for any reason, Georgia Tech loses to the local high school.
Oh man,
it's the Georgia Tech Kings, is what it is. It's not even the Yellow Jackets.
All right,
but yes, I like Haynes King. Continue. Sorry to interrupt. I love Haynes King.
Well, that was just they're my contender.
Okay.
Georgia Tech.
Houston.
Out
Vandy.
of the 4 options, I'd take Georgia Tech over Houston, and Houston I feel like is pretty inconsistent still, and it's a close one between Georgia Tech and Vanderbilt, but I'd take Georgia Tech over Vanderbilt.
Do you think Houston and Vandy are a bit fraudulent, or you just think Georgia Tech's a better team than those two?
I just think, I'd take Georgia as a I don't think that. I think the only true pretender out of that list of 4
is Virginia.
Virginia, maybe a little bit Houston.
Okay.
Like really honestly,
That's
the
what
2
I was
pretenders.
looking for. Yeah.
Yeah. My 2 pretenders really are Houston and Virginia. My 2 contenders are Vanderbilt and Georgia Tech.
Gotcha. Adam?
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think Georgia Tech is gritty enough that they can hang in there with just about anybody. We'll really get to see that at the end of the season against Georgia, but we saw what they did last year. They're the type of team, especially with Haynes King, that can just will themselves to a win, and that's the same thing with Vanderbilt, with Pavia. Those guys will sit and hang in a game with anybody, whether or not I think they're that good. Like, I wouldn't even say like Vanderbilt's a top 12 team as far as like, if I was doing power rankings on who Vanderbilt would actually beat, but with Pavia, they'll just will their way into some of these games. May not win them, but I think they can compete. And as Cooper said, Houston's growing on me. They had a good win against Arizona State this week. I want to say
Jeff Sims game.
I want to say like, hey, I think Houston might be good. I want to buy into the Big 12 a little bit because I don't think the Big 12 is as bad as a lot of people think. We'll learn more about him again this week. So I'll say no on Houston for now, and Virginia. It pains me, but I don't think they'd beat anybody, any other team in the top 15. I don't think they're, unless Louisville apparently, but
Virginia, I think, is the biggest pretender on there. Houston, I was ready to give them credit until Jeff Sims had to play half of that football game on Saturday. Vandy and Georgia Tech, I would agree that they're very, very similar teams, but I think I think Houston and Virginia would both get blown out in quarterfinal games. I think Vandy and Georgia Tech would hang in there. That's assuming that Haynes King has some feeling in his extremities at that point. And that's
he makes
the
it
biggest
past
thing.
Georgia.
Yeah. He's got to survive that game. I think you rest him in the conference title game if he beats Georgia.
Over under 30 carries.
Yeah. So that's where I was looking at a few of those. There's a few other schools too that you could loop in there with the Cincinnati, whatever it may be. But I think, I was about to give Houston some credit, and then Jeff Sims happened. So I think the Big 12 is BYU's to lose at this point.
BYU's a good freaking team, man.
They're a wagon. Bear Bachmar.
Same reason that I like Vanderbilt and Georgia Tech, man. Those guys will just will themselves into some of these games.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that I truly do. I think they can compete with a lot of playoff caliber teams.
Absolutely.
Give them 3 quarters. They'll hang in there.
Speaking of some of these contenders and pretenders, let's get to the top 12. Should we save Cooper's entire top 12 for last?
Go ahead. Yeah, actually, I think it would be interesting. Let's do that.
You want to do it that way? I'm going to tell you, mine didn't change from last week. Everyone won. Everyone stayed status quo.
Mine pretty much didn't either. I had a little movement, but not much.
Yeah.
All right. So, IU, Ohio State, A&M, Bama.
I'm with you.
Georgia Tech, Georgia, BYU. And I moved Ole Miss up from 12 to 8.
Okay. I got Georgia Tech, BYU, Oregon, and Georgia. Still in the same realm.
That is the only movement. 9 is Miami, 10 is Vandy, 11 is Oregon, and 12 I have sitting with Texas Tech.
All right. Ole Miss, Miami, Vandy, and Notre Dame, 9 through 12. So we're right in the same echelon there.
All right, time to yell at Cooper.
Cooper, are you ready for this? This is your shining moment. You're going to get all the comments, I think. Hopefully your face pops up on the short.
Yeah. You ready for it? So
rip me off 1 through 4 right now.
1 through 4. Well, what if we try to go backwards? 12 to 1.
No, I think it's better to just see where you rank undefeated teams. I don't want to see them right away. Okay. I want to wait until we get to 17 where you have BYU.
You guys say you didn't have a lot of changes. I got a few changes here in my top 12.
I'm sure.
Number one thing that has
realized it was down last week.
The number one thing I have not changed is my number one team. Ohio State is still the number one team. They have the best defense. Do you know that they have only so far allowed 5 points a game?
Yeah.
That is insane that they have only allowed 5 points. Best defense in college football right now. Indiana is 2.
Who have they played?
Who has Ohio State played?
Yeah. Because we know Penn State's not good.
I can look at their schedule.
What was the final score to the Illinois game?
We're not doing this again.
Oh.
Texas is not what we thought it was. Unless Grambling State just had an off day, I don't think they were talked about as top of the country in offense.
Very impressive against Grambling State.
Number one defense. I still think their offense is widely underrated. I have Ohio State at 1. Sorry. I'm not moving that. Indiana did have a very impressive. I will admit, Indiana, the gap is closing. Indiana had a very impressive win this past week. Dropping a 50 bomb is not something to ignore.
They do it every week.
Okay. I got A&M at 3. Beating up on LSU that badly in LSU is enough to make me go, all right, I'm starting to believe in you a bit more. They deserve to be number 3. I'm sorry I was late. Other times you guys are late to the party on some of the things I say. I was late to the party on the A&M thing. I'm willing enough to admit that. I got Alabama at 4. So besides the Ohio State Indiana thing, we're in agreement there.
Your thoughts on Alabama should have lost. They should have lost.
That's another big reason why they dropped the spot there.
And why I put A&M trying to say shouldn't have lost?
Shouldn't. I'm not sure where I was going with that, honestly.
Okay.
The Tylenol kicked in, my bad.
Okay. That was, being that close of a win over South Carolina, like you said, a game they probably should have lost. That's the reason why they dropped. A part of the reason why they dropped. And, beating up on LSU as badly as they did and making Brian Kelly get fired is another reason why they went up.
Winning at LSU at night's impressive.
Beating them that bad, too, is worthy of note.
Extra bonus points for this them taking over the stadium at the end, too.
Mm-hmm. Georgia's at 5. They did beat Ole Miss, so that's worth enough to hey, you want to talk about quality wins? You guys have Ole Miss in your top 12. That's a quality win. That's worth being 5th. Oregon, I have 6th. I hesitant because they only dropped 21 in Wisconsin, and it seems like Wisconsin's everybody's whipping boy in the Big Ten. Being only a 21-7 game, I don't like that. That's worthy of note. I got Miami.
That might have been Oregon's best win this year, is the crazy thing.
Yeah, and that also might get Fickle fired.
Yeah. There you go. It's just becoming an Oregon tradition. I got Miami at 7. Over Georgia Tech at 8. Haynes King's carrying that team, like you said earlier. I got
undefeated Georgia Tech team.
Yep. Undefeated Georgia. Yep. Notre Dame at 9. I'm still a big believer in them. I got Vandy at 10 after their win this past week. Ole Miss at 11. I still don't like Ole Miss at all. I have to award them, though, for getting a ranked win over Oklahoma. And I have BYU at 12.
2 lost Notre Dame over BYU.
Yes. I think Notre Dame is that good of a team. I put them there. I'm not a big believer in BYU like you guys are, I guess. I don't know. Maybe that's another one I'm sleeping on. I don't know. I put them in the top 12. I haven't had them in the top 12 the last how many weeks. I finally put them in the top 12. So,
but they wouldn't even make the playoff.
Yeah. I don't know. My G5 pick, though, hey, consolation. All right. They get to be in 12, but not make it. G5 pick, I got Tulane as my G5 pick now.
Hey, welcome to the party.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I think that was my pick on week 1.
You still have Tulane, Hank?
Yeah, I do. I think I still have the thing with Memphis and USF where they have the dual threat quarterbacks, and neither one of them are particularly good at throwing.
You know, my playoff team can't lose to UAB. Give me Navy.
Oh, he said it. He said it. Some noteworthy other teams that I do have in my top 25. I still have Texas Tech 13. Some other move arounds. Louisville, I have my top 25 now at 21. Navy, I have 24. Right ahead of Tulane at 25. And I have my 5 teams on the periphery of the top 25. Iowa is worthy of note after they destroyed my Minnesota. Still very upset about that. But that's worthy of note. They're right outside the top 25. Talked about James Madison earlier, I think before we started recording, but they're worthy of note, having a hell of a season. They're outside my top 25. And I still got USF and Memphis outside the top 25 as well. So there you go.
I did go through the whole 25. I ranked Iowa 19.
Maybe I'm late to that too.
I think they're really good.
Where do you guys have Michigan?
I have Michigan at 16.
21.
What undefeated team do you have like at 28, Cooper?
I got no undefeated team at 28. Nope.
We should do a FCS ranking. Cooper have North Dakota State ranked 6th because they only beat South Dakota State by 32 with their backup quarterback.
Be sure to tune into the Bat Flip Entertainment College Football FCS show coming soon.
Yeah.
Show.
Mm-hmm.
Actually,
show. That makes sense.
Yeah, remember it used to be 1AA, Division 1AA instead of Division 1A.
Well, that show
they
went
to FCS. Yeah, well, dude, I guess we'll just put on Trey Lance highlights.
Down. Get on it, Cooper.
Will do.
All right. Roll on to week 10. Personally, I think week 10, the most interesting games are in the lower levels with the AAC race. There are some ranked matchups, some rivalry games. That's what I was looking for. Oh, fun fact. This kind of ties back into, well, it does tie back into the UVA thing. I'd have to see exactly what it covers, but oldest ACC rivalry, maybe? North Carolina and Virginia, 138 meetings.
True.
Not the 2 that I would have expected. I don't think it's the oldest in the country because I'm sure Yale and Princeton or Yale and Harvard have played 9,000 times. But
I thought oldest rivalry in the country was actually Minnesota, Wisconsin. I thought I heard something about that.
It might be. There is a weird one. I think that might be it.
Is this something?
Stats department.
Yeah.
Get on it.
He's watching our Tawny highlights.
The Dodgers aren't winning.
Either way, that was 138th meeting, I believe. So I don't know if it was the oldest in the ACC or oldest for each program, one or the other.
Yeah.
But I found that interesting. I figured North Carolina, maybe NC State, Duke, something like that. Or Virginia, I would have thought Virginia Tech. Interesting nonetheless. Let's get to week 10 games. I got 4 games here. Let's actually, let's see. Last week. Oh, I might not have wrote it down from last week. Did I take bad notes, guys? I wanted to see how we did. I think I took bad notes.
I have my notes. I went 500. Okay. 2 right, 2 wrong.
That'll keep you losing.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta get 56% right to be a good gambler.
I'm not a good gambler, so that's why I keep it here. I do all of my betting here.
Well, let's see what you got
on
here.
The line, and it's just pride.
We got Vandy.
I've been red hot, by the way.
Oh, have you?
Just follow me. Yeah, been red hot. Not on here though. Just all the ones we don't talk about.
So
you know what I'll do?
Adam on here.
Fade me on
here.
here.
Anywhere else.
You know what I'll do? I make the graphics for the top 12 teams. I'll make a graphic for our win-loss record on our bets. I'll go back and do that so we can really keep track. I got you.
Now that it's week 9, 10. I like it.
It's worth it to do for the last 2 weeks.
All right, my first one's Vandy in Texas. Texas -2.5 over under 44.5. Adam, go.
This game's gonna be horrible. Bet the under. I think maybe Texas wins. It'll be the excuse to get Texas back in the playoff talks, even though they can't beat anybody by more than 2 points.
Okay.
But the under in this game, it reeks of like 13-10.
Cooper.
Don't trust Texas at all. Beat Oklahoma and then struggle to beat, who was it, Kentucky last week or the week before?
Mm-hmm. Beat Mississippi State in overtime.
Yeah. Give me Vanderbilt to cover and beat Texas.
Yeah, I got the money line on Vandy too. I'm with you. Second one up. Georgia and Florida. Florida's getting 7.5 at home. Well, I guess they're the home team in Jacksonville. Over under 50.5. Adam.
Florida covers 7. Is it 7.5 or 6.5 now?
I got 7.5.
You got 7.5.
Where I wrote it down.
Take Florida 7.5. Sprinkle some on the money line.
Interesting.
UGA is going to drop one at some point. I think this might be it. Florida really hasn't been playing all that bad.
Yeah.
Like this game's going to be weird.
Cooper.
Georgia might drop one, but I don't think it's going to be this one. Give me Georgia to cover that 7.5 over Florida.
Gotcha. I'm going to take the over.
Okay.
Georgia hasn't played much defense this year. Everything's seemingly high scoring. This would probably be the game that they shut down Florida and DJ Lagway throws 8 interceptions. But
also, Gunnar Stockton's starting to kind of feel himself here lately. I've not been a big Gunnar Stockton guy, but he was really good in the second half of that Ole Miss game.
Yeah. But you guys have been really big John Mateer fans, and we got Tennessee coming into Norman as 3.5-point favorites. Over under 56.5. How do you like that one, Mr. Mateer?
I like OU. I'll bet the over. Tennessee games it doesn't seem to matter who Tennessee plays. The final score is just crazy high. So definitely bet the over. This might be the game Mateer gets back on track. I like OU. But
what were they saying about his hand this past? Are they expecting him to be back to 100% with that at all this year? Or
no idea. I don't know how you could be back to 100% with something like that.
I don't either. But I like the over. That's fair. Cooper, what you got?
I agree with Adam. I got OU to beat Tennessee straight up here.
Gotcha. I will pick Tennessee. Just because, well, it's in Knoxville and Oklahoma still hasn't had like some huge win. Even throughout the Big 12, the playoff, they haven't played in a big SEC game and won yet.
It's like surely OU will not lose every close game they're supposed to have this season. They won't lose every big game.
I mean, neither is Tennessee. I mean, they only lost by 3 to Georgia and 17 to Alabama, but all their other wins are against Arkansas.
I just mean historically for Oklahoma. I'm going back to Baker Mayfield in the Sugar Bowl with Georgia.
Oh, okay.
They just haven't. It doesn't matter who the coach is. Riley, what's his name now? Venables. Doesn't matter. Heupel's at least won. He can't beat Georgia yet.
Yeah.
But he's beat Bama. He's beat other big games.
Top 5 quarterback, Baker Mayfield, by the way.
Yeah, I agree. No one's disagreeing there. Got the late one here to round it out. Cincinnati at Utah. Very, very sneaky Cincinnati team. Utah is giving 10.5 in this one. Over under 55.5. What do you think?
It's a pretty wild one. I will say, if Cincy wins this game, they're gonna go. I probably put them in the top 12 next week. They win this game. Utah's a good team. I don't think they're gonna win though.
Do they cover 10.5?
Since he covers it, that almost feels like a trap for some reason. I hate that number. 10.5. It feels like they're begging you to bet it. That's just usually when you want to stay away. But if you're making me pick one, I'll say since he covers, Utah wins.
Cooper.
That number is way too enticing to not take. Yeah, I'd take Cincy to cover for sure.
Okay. I have not only that cover, I think Cincy wins outright. I think his team is better than people think. I think Utah's been a bit overrated this year, in my opinion. I don't know what Dampier's status is for this game. They did play a freshman last week. I believe he's a freshman at least.
Played really well, too.
He did play very well, but Colorado might have had the worst half or just even full game of football that I have ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah.
That was like video game numbers at that point. But I think Cincy's a very, very solid team, and I think they can certainly upset that team. I don't know where the 10.5 comes from, to be honest. Travel, maybe.
I don't know. It feels like a trap. I don't like it.
You're right. It does feel like a trap. So that's usually one of those ones that I look at. I'm like, oh, look at the value on this outright pick. And then Cincinnati goes and loses by 28. And they're like, haha, look at this. This is what we do to you.
I don't know. Maybe Vegas just isn't watching a lot of Cincinnati ball, and they're just sleeping on them. I don't understand that number either.
It's possible.
It's one of those ones. So you're either going to be like, wow, I really fell for it, or you're going to be sitting there like, wow, that was the easiest bet ever. I should have bet my life savings on it. What am I doing?
Right? Because if I would have just bet my life savings on it, then I wouldn't have to go to work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd have like $20 then.
You can get a nice meal at Applebee's.
Mm-hmm.
You almost get the 2 for $25. We'll see how that goes. Right now, if you haven't been watching, Jacksonville State 3-0 in Conference USA was losing to Middle Tennessee State 0-3 in Conference USA. That was kind of an interesting upset we were looking at there for a little bit, but Jacksonville State takes a 3-point lead with 2.5 left in the fourth.
Ooh.
Jack State, third best rushing team in the country, behind Navy and Air Force. So interesting offense. I think that team might be a really, really good underdog pick come bowl season. So keep them in your back of your mind there. That'll do it for this week, though. I appreciate you guys and your commitment to excellence here. Let's have a great week and win all of our bets.